Hi YouTube, we're back with another video on this channel. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. It's been at least a few months, if not a year. My phone camera was actually broke. Couldn't make any recordings or photos, so obviously can't make videos, so that's why. This video is going to be about this new rig that I just bought. And don't worry, if you're here just for the Ranger content, that is still here. I still have the green 302 swap Ranger. It's just, that's not what this video is about. That'll be the next video. I did just do a few more things to this. It still works perfectly. Maybe I'll fire it up for this video. It's below zero or below freezing now. Obviously it's snowing. But yeah, so this video is about my new OBS. Stay tuned. So here it is, just the quick specs of the new tow rig for the Ranger. Still need to get a trailer, but this is the horse. You don't get the cart before the horse, obviously. This is a 1997 Ford F-250 crew cab long box, and it's also the four-wheel drive. And the big one, it is the 7.3 Powerstroke. I know the badges are wrong. The fenders have been replaced on this, so the badges aren't right. That's okay. It doesn't really matter what the badges say. It's pretty obvious what it is once it's running. It only has 118,000 miles on it, which is like nothing for a Powerstroke 7.3. Always wanted something that could actually tow stuff. I had my other Ranger right over there. Every time I towed with that, I would have to fix something on it. And the most recent thing I towed with it was an empty trailer of insulation. And the brakes went out, so I'm done. It's just it's a quarter-ton truck. I needed something a little bigger to tow reliably, and I've always loved the OBS style trucks. I didn't want anything with like a gas motor in it, and unfortunately most of the Ford diesels, the modern ones, they're not very good. So this is the only one that was in my price range. The 6.7s are good, but I didn't want to pay the price of 6.7 at this time, so we settled for this one. And this is a good motor, so there's really no settling, I guess. It's just definitely slow. But we'll fix that in time. It is the automatic trans, which is the only thing that, kind of got me. But I was looking for one of these for a solid year, and the amount of stuff on Marketplace of, what people ask for these. I know anybody who's looked for one of these knows what I'm talking about. Don't lowball me. Rusted out, clapped out, 300,000 miles, 7.3 is worth 20 grand, and I want all of it. That's what this was in it. So I did have to make a compromise there. It has only 10,000 miles on a rebuilt trans with paperwork. It has a trans tugger shift kit in it, with a billet torque converter and steel planetary gears, and I forget there was something else that it had too. I think it was upgraded clutches. It is a built, or a more built trans. It's not like super built, but it is a little better than stock. So, and of course it only has 10,000 miles, so can't go wrong there. If it ever gives me issues, I'll just put a ZF5 in it. It's easier just to swap this than try to find a manual that it wasn't 20 grand. It's just too hard. It wasn't perfect. I did pay 5 grand for this truck. Nobody's gonna believe that, and nobody does. But I mean, I even have the bill of sale. I have the title. I have everything. It was 5 grand. I did do a little bit work to it since buying it. I've had this about a month and a half now. First thing I did was I did put new tires on it. So it didn't come with new tires. The tires that were on it were coming apart in your hand. The tread was separating. It was like so dry rotted. So it did need new tires. That was another $1,200 right there for these 33s. These are some good snow tires, though. I've had these before, the BF all-terrains, and you never want to go back to a different snow tire after having these. Let's just say that. They're very good tires. I've also had to do just a couple things. I've done a little minor things to it, like rust repair on it, just very minor. This arch was actually rusted out on me. So I'd cut it out and put new metal in there. I did use my own steel. I made my own steel. So yeah, it was pretty hard, I'll be honest. I'm not really that experienced with the body work, and it didn't really come out that great, I'll be honest. Not bad by any means, but it's a 5-footer, let's just say that. But yeah, it's definitely not that great. Lower half, put some chrome trim on here, covers that bodge. But I've also do like the chrome trim look on these OBSs too, so either way I did want to put those on, and it was a lot easier to hide some of the bodywork issues. In my opinion, it looks better than the rest, but it's definitely, I know it's going to make a lot of body people cringe, I would say. It has a tailgate. It's just in the garage. I just did a little bit of minor rust repair on it, just a little small hole I did repair. We'll show you that later, but the other side, it's good. There's really didn't have to do any work here with the wheel arch. It was already good to go. There is some other minor rust on it that I will have to fix, unfortunately, but that'll be a spring project. It's just too cold now. I have to do cab corners on both sides. You could see there's a crack there. That's because it's 90% Bondo, so the Bondo's cracking. It's actually not the paint, it's the Bondo itself. This door is also completely rotted on the bottom. It's not good, but we'll fix her up as best we could. I have been looking for another door, just to buy a door. The crew cab stuff is obviously more rare than the single cab for these trucks, but that's okay. Between now and spring, I'm still looking. If I find one, I'll just buy a new door. That's good. If not, we'll fix this in the spring. We do have to do rockers on it, floors, and front cab mounts and cab corners. So there's on both sides. So there's a decent amount of work on this cab still left. It'll be a spring project. Take the floor, take the interior out, take the doors off, take the fenders off, and just do it all at once. It's not stuff you're gonna see, so you don't have to do that great a job on it. It's not that bad. You don't have to take the cab off either. The videos I've been watching, we'll just get her done because it does have to be done. That is the major thing that does have to be done on this truck, because the cab mounts are pretty bad in the front. The rears are fine. It's the front that need work. That is one of the main reasons I got it for a decent price. But the rest of it's pretty good. Very low mileage. I've only had to do a few mechanical things since, and that's all been age-related stuff. I had to do a wheel bearing up here, or both wheel bearings. The old owner did ball joints on this, and I don't think they preloaded the bearing right, and it kind of ate itself up. It ate the bearing up, it ate the race up, and it ate the spindle up, unfortunately. So I replaced all of that. It's all good to go. It's been great ever since. There's no more noise coming from it. I did put a new alternator in it, and what else? A belt. Nothing major, just age-related stuff. Did lube up the slides on this side for the brakes because it was making a lot of noise from them. They were binding up. Did put a new door hinge on this side because it was broke. Pretty typical of any OBS of this age, actually. And then this is the interior. It's a blue interior. Very good condition still. Automatic trans, as I said, but it's almost brand new, so should be fine. But I know some of you are gonna want to see a cold start on it, so let's show you cold start on the 073. And it is 32 degrees right now. So there she is. let that warm up, take it for a drive later, but here's just the tailgate. I started this like right when I got the truck, so about a month ago, and then I got real busy. I had to do the other mechanical work on it, and then I was working later or more hours at work, so kind of lost track of it. It is done. It's all ready for paint. There's just a little hole in this area. I welded new steel in there, and then bondoed it over. It's ready for paint, just needs to be painted, and I'll probably do that this weekend, and then we'll throw that back on, and then the rig will look pretty good. I am just gonna repaint the whole thing because it was a red tailgate at one point, as you can see, and then the paint's kind of flaking, so it's just easier. I'm just gonna take the orbital sander, do it, sand it all down, and then primer, paint, put it back on, and that's it. So that's kind of it for this video. I know this channel is about Rangers. It's like 100 and some subscriber channel. It's a tiny channel, but it was made on Rangers, and so OBS trucks might not be your thing, but I did buy that OBS truck so I can make more videos with this truck, because right now I need something to tow this. I can't be driving this on the road because it's not that I've gotten pulled over or anything. I've never had issues with it, driving it at all, but it's too sketch. It's got a grizzly locker in the rear, so it's like unpredictable in that sense on its own. The transmission is like, it's like I'm shifting a Stone Age transmission. It's horrible. And then it's 12 inches over stock, and then 37s. It's just, and then of course I built everything, so I don't really like driving on the road anymore. I did drive it. I was driving it a lot this summer, and it's fine. But then one day I was going to the auto parts for my other Ranger, and then the oil line on this did blow for the oil filter relocation kit. It's just a rubber hose with hose clamps. I didn't know any better. I didn't. So I didn't know that could happen with cheaper lines. I didn't even know there was actually stuff better that you could use until this happened. But it did blow a line. It emptied 3 quarts of oil in like 2 seconds. The minute it went pop, blew the oil, and then the whole cab filled with smoke, all in a matter of like 2 or 3 seconds. And I immediately just shut it down, and then I put it in neutral and coasted to the side of the road, see what was going on. I didn't know what was going on at first. I thought it was something else, but then it turned out to be that. It got oil all over the exhaust, and it did catch fire. I had to jump out of the cab with my fire extinguisher and put it out. Luckily I did have that, or the truck might have actually melted down, because there was actually flames. Yeah, but I did replace all that. We have some nice new quality stuff here now. You can see that those are my oil lines now. Nice steel construction, high pressure oil lines that are with AN fittings now. And I've not had an issue since. All I did was just pop that old line on with my screwdriver, and I did have oil in the cab. I always carry oil. I had enough oil to put back in it and drive it home. The motor seems fine. I've driven it a lot since. Just got really lucky because shut it down immediately. So if you're doing a build like this with a Ranger, don't use those lines. Learn from me and the other people that it's happened to, because I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't even know that could happen, but it did. But look out for that. Once I get a trailer, we're going to be bringing this a lot more places. And step one was the truck to pull the trailer, and I've already got that. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching. Really excited about this whole rig. I know a lot of you are Rangers, but we're gonna have more Ranger content here too. I haven't even done a video on this one, which is not working right now, but we'll get her working on the next video and post that. So see ya, and peace out.